Hello and welcome to the GrapeSEED Official Podcast. This will be the first episode in our GrapeSEED Friends series, where we sit down with an influential member of the GrapeSEED community. This series will be less about practical teaching tips, but instead give you a look either behind the scenes at GrapeSEED or even highlight an inspirational story. Today's guest is Luke Swan, the animator for and voice of Mr. Lineman, the character we and our students all know and love. Welcome to the podcast, Luke.
Oh, Adam! Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Love the voice.
Thank you.
Let's start with the background of Mr. Lineman. How was the character created?
How was he created? I think Lineman was created by Loretta Cusack. She used this stick figure character as a teaching aid for teaching students how to write the letters of the alphabet. And the core concept was that this stick figure had like a head and a belt and his feet, which represented the 3 note lines that you'd write with. And then you'd use those keywords as starting points for where you'd write the letters and stuff. And then we were kind of just starting up here, and they came to me and said, hey, do you want to work on this Lineman character stuff? We got this stick figure we want you to animate. And it didn't seem that interesting to me at first, because I considered myself kind of like an artiste, animator, person who should be doing complicated things. And it was a stick figure, but with a little bit of convincing, we took it on, and that's kind of where it started. Just trying to develop different ideas to how we can make a stick figure drawing letters entertaining.
Yeah, so it started as a stick figure, and then how did it evolve to how Lineman is what we see on the DVD?
Well, yeah, so we wanted him to have certain characteristics, something that would work well with movement. So we wanted to have him kind of be like an ink blot character. Well, that's what we ended up with. It was this ink blot character. But we went through a few different iterations. I think at one time, a core idea for Lineman was that he was to be a construction foreman, so we had him with a hard hat and a tool belt, and he'd pull out this blueprint and he'd direct these little helpers, and they'd come in, with cranes and trucks and build scaffolding and build these letters and stuff. But a lot of that ended up being too time consuming on the, because we can't make like a 4-minute Lineman animated thing. So we were asked to simplify the ideas, and that's when we kind of came up with the inkblot character, something that could change shape and form and sort of create the tools that it needs on the fly to write the letters and stuff. And then what we might call the magic moment, when everybody thought we had something pretty interesting, would have been when one of the problems was getting the little helpers onto the screen, and they need to come on quicker and with less things. And so we just, eventually I kind of just thought, well, we'll just have him pop out of his elbows and knees. And it was kind of a throwaway thing. It's funny how that happens sometimes, where something that you don't really expect to be funny or for people to like it, sort of kind of an afterthought idea, becomes a main drawing point for a show or a character. And that was kind of what the elbows and knees popping off came to be.
Goodbye, my friends, goodbye. I'm sad to say goodbye. It was a good day, but now I will say goodbye, my friends, goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.